What's up, guys? Bajheera here, back at it again with another 10.2 Warrior Guide. This time, we're talking about Fury PvP. Now, this makes me very, very happy because it's looking like, due to our set bonus, that we are back to playing my original and most favorite build of all, Annihilator Fury. So this is very, very good news. Let me talk you through just a little bit about why that's the case. Take a look at our set bonus here. So our set bonus this time around in Season 3 is that Odin's Fury deals 50% increased damage and causes your next 3 Bloodthirsts to deal 150% additional damage and have 100% increased critical strike chance against its primary target, which is awesome. And then the 4 set is Bloodthirst critical strikes reduce the cooldown of Odin's Fury by 2.5 seconds. So this, to me, sounds like what I love to play as Fury, which is just good old Odin's Fury Annihilator. Now, there's probably some room for Raging Blow in there, but I'll talk you through a little bit about Annihilator and why I think it's probably going to be the way to roll. So, if we look at the talents themselves, a lot of what's going on over on this side of the tree is relatively unchanged, except for the addition of Shockwave. We do love Shockwave, so we went ahead and added that in there. But, you know, going for Odin's Fury, proccing off Avatar is awesome. Going for a good old Thunderous Roar and making people take more damage from bleed effects, which Odin's Fury, I believe, is a bleed effect as well. And of course, Cold Steel Hot Blood is a bleed effect, which makes us do more damage and more healing. All very, very nice. Interestingly, with Fury, we are actually going to be using Slam and Whirlwind a little bit, so Barbaric Training does actually come into play here with Fury. So does some auto attack speed. So some things are a little bit different on this side of the tree than arms, but not that much has changed. What is interesting over here is that we do get to go all the way into this left side of the tree to do a lot of cool stuff with Bloodthirst. There are some options here, like if you don't want to take this talent, you probably could take Whirlwind, and that's honestly a good call, honestly a fine option. But for this, we're kind of just talking about like a single target build here, where Fury is looking to do a lot of bloodthirsting, a lot of rage, a lot of like Odin's Fury action, not as much Raging Blow. You could, but you'll start to get your talent points spread a little thin if you tried to really invest in Raging Blow and Bloodthirst. And because Bloodthirst is going to be hitting hard, going to be critting, you want to be able to press Bloodthirst frequently. This side of the tree ends up looking to be the way to roll. So, this talent is going to reduce Bloodthirst cooldown. This talent is going to make Bloodthirst deal more damage as, it's called, like, what is it called? Like Bloodbath. But the bummer thing is that this only reduces the cooldown of 1 Bloodthirst now, so the rotation isn't as smooth as just spamming Bloodthirst like it used to be. You actually have to weave in some slams, weave in some sudden deaths, so you're going to want that talent for sure. And maybe even weave in some Whirlwinds, which then does kind of give you a reason to maybe go improved Whirlwind for some cleave action. It's pretty nice. I don't know if Whirlwind generates Rage without it, so it makes it kind of like you could drop this point for sure. Increased chance triggering Rage, you actually don't really need that. So let's just go ahead and say that we're going to use this, because I like that just fine anyway. This is just a fun talent in general. I do like that one. But yeah, you're trying to get a ton of Bloodthirst cooldown reduction, and Annihilator and this kind of thing kind of makes the rotation flow a little bit better with the way things work now. Obviously, you're taking Odin's Fury. It's a mandatory thing. Reckless Abandon, again, empowers things, and Unbridled Ferocity gives your Rampage basically the chance to proc some Wreck, but it's going to be fairly frequently proccing Wreck, which is nice. And then it always is going to proc the Reckless Abandon, basically. Alright. So, this is where the talents are looking for now. In terms of your stats and stuff, we could talk about that too. But before we do, I want to talk a little bit about honor talents. So, honor talents for Fury. If you have a Mortal Strike on your team, you don't have to take the Slaughterhouse, but if there is no source of healing reduction, you pretty much need Slaughterhouse. I don't think Battlefield Commander really packs the same punch as Fury for some reason, but it's probably still fine. You like stamina, you like the root. Intimidating Shout, cooldown reduction is so good, Rallying Cry is so good. Thunderous Roar They're receiving more damage from all sources while bleeding. So, you know what? It is still insane. Looking at it now, it's like, nah, this is still good for Fury. But again, Fury has some other things that are important too. Battle Trance is awesome. It gives you the rage, gives you the healing. But the problem with Annihilator is it takes 8 auto attacks for it to really activate. And that is tricky, especially if you like ever want to tab over to hit something else with like kill a totem and like your Annihilator hits the totem. It resets your Battle Trance, so it's actually not that great of a talent for this. So what you could do is take maybe Battlefield Commander instead of that one. You could take Safeguard is still insane for every warrior spec basically, right? Take Safeguard for that. I like Blood Rage a lot. Anytime anything's gonna root you, Blood Rage becomes ultra useful. On a 20-second cooldown, you gain a ton of rage and you get yourself out of snares and roots at the cost of 5% of your health, but you know, that's like, you know, 2 Bloodthirsts is gonna outweigh that, right? So, or you're back in the positive on health. Enduring Rage, this one's just kind of weird. Like, I've never really figured out like how this is supposed to be useful, but maybe I'm just a noob and I haven't really been playing that much Fury. And I should give a caveat to everything. I haven't really been playing that much Fury, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of that one. I think those ones are pretty good though. Battlefield Commander, Safeguard, not so much Battle Trance, but definitely Blood Rage and Slaughterhouse. Those are all really, really nice for Fury. Super good. But yeah, we can talk about stats a little bit. I want to talk about how these talents all flow together, but I think that's going to sort of have to just be present when we... oh, cool. I'm getting reputation. Yep, definitely carrying the hunt right now. The playstyle of this build for Fury is you're basically just running around bloodthirsting things. You're weaving in slams, weaving in whirlwinds, weaving in sudden death executes to fill in the rotation, but you're looking to just blast people with bloodthirst basically the whole time. Stack up haste, stack up your slaughterhouse, and just go nuts. It's pretty straightforward, but it's pretty fun. Let me talk about stats a little bit, and then we'll dig into just a little bit of rotation over there on my buddy Ayanga once again. So remember, this is early season, so things may change, but it's also early season, and I am sort of focusing more on arms, so my stats right now are not representative of what I think Fury wants. I think haste-focused Fury is fine, but I think mastery-focused Fury is where you start to really chunk people and do big damage. So kind of how arms is like verse haste mastery crit, I think Fury is more like verse mastery haste crit. And now there is some room for discussion about crit, because crit is going to play into your 4 set, right? So Bloodthirst critical strikes reduce the cooldown of Odin's Fury by 2.5 seconds. So it's like, yeah, I mean, if I crit my Bloodthirsts, then we're reducing the cooldown of Odin's Fury, which then gives us guaranteed crits. So there is some synergy there, but we have this talent right here. Bloodthirst critical strike chance of your next Bloodthirst, or sorry, Bloodthirst increase the critical strike chance of your next Bloodthirst by 15%, stack up to 5 times. So every time you Bloodthirst and it doesn't crit, you get a stack of Blood Craze that makes it more likely to crit next time. So this talent kind of means that you don't need crit. And remember, we also have our cooldown Recklessness, which gives us increased critical strike chance, right? So it's like stacking crit chance is just not that important for Fury when you could just be hitting harder and you're going to get the chance to crit anyway, right? There's just a lot going on that means that you don't really need that crit, especially because you have 2 charges of Odin's Fury. Basically, you have Odin's Fury when you pop Wreck, then you have Odin's Fury when you just use Odin's Fury, right? So that's making me think you just want to hit hard when you're enraged, right? Haste is really fun though. I think haste feels great for Fury, but you're going to be so loaded up with stats anyway, and your haste goes crazy with Fury as enrage anyway. I think you're better off with mastery. Just hit like a freaking truck, and that's going to be your best bet for stats. I do think that your crafted pieces can be the same as arms. Just make the war boots of impunity, make the little conduit that gives you the secondary stat bonuses, and you'll be good to go. And you know, I think you're gonna be even more likely to craft this piece on a shoulder for Fury, because again, the helmet gives you mastery, right? You're gonna be buying secondary stats, but it's gonna be mastery instead of haste on this. but I think your gearing process is very much the same. Hopefully you get tier out of the vault so that you can make 4 set from the catalyst is what we're looking for there. You can catalyze 2 pieces and get one 1600 token piece, and then just hopefully you get 1 from the vault. Then you can definitely get the mastery weapon, versatility mastery, from the world PvP person, because the versatility mastery is what you want. So that's actually, you're in business as Fury with world PvP weapons, and then you're looking pretty good for Fury in terms of your statting. This big mastery, ready to rock. Let's go beat up Ayanga, show you the rotation a little bit, because it did change a teens. So, because we don't get the like double bloodthirst, it ends up like popping all your cooldowns. That hits really freaking hard though. What in the world? 252k, holy. Why is Fury hit so dang hard? So you'll see how you kind of, it's almost like you get a rampage every other thingy. Why am I hitting? I gotta have some kind of buff, right? Yeah. Oh, I have my dog. Like that's, yeah, okay. Yeah, he's increased my damage by 50%. I was like, okay, that is absurd damage. I gotta reroll Fury now, but no. Charged in, bloodthirsting, but when you don't have a chance to immediately bloodthirst right after, like you can get 2 bloodthirsts basically. But they don't have the same like kind of like just bloodthirst as effect as they had before. So you're like weaving in a slam basically. So bloodthirst, rampage, whatever you can, bloodthirst again, weave in a slam, which doesn't really feel as smooth to me as Annihilator Fury felt before, but it's fine. It's fine. You're still gonna rampage, still gonna bloodthirst, but yeah, the thing that makes it kind of go on a bit of a cooldown doesn't feel as good to me, but still. It's still a ton of rampage, a ton of bloodthirst, the occasional slam, the occasional execute. You can weave a whirlwind in as well, but yeah, it'll still feel pretty good and it'll still hit really hard. And I still think that Annihilator is probably gonna be the way to go. So, rip this man up. Boom. Boom. And you're generating so much rage that like, you know, you're gonna be able to like bloodthirst rampage almost instead of like bloodthirst rampage. It's just like. Rampage is almost like every other global, which is wild. And when it's not every other global, just weave a slam in, weave a execute in, if you have one, weave a whirlwind in, especially if you're playing the talent for cleave. It should be fine. And then it's like Ayanga's just dying instantly anyway. But yeah, you kind of want to pop wreck, and then if you are playing this talent, the Titanic Rage, you're already gonna be enraged, so you can just continue to do your damage without worrying about enrage. And then Dragon Roar right after that, right? So everything's just dying, but there we go. If that was wreck, then you just let it all rip. Dragon Roar, boom, everything's just dead already because it's doing too much god dang damage. But yeah, Fury is nuts. It's a lot of fun. I still think I'm more focused on arms right now, but because people do ask me about Fury, I wanted to make a Fury guide for you as well. I think I'm gonna have to play some Fury though, just for fun. But you'll see how that works. It's like things are just dying before I can even kind of get into more than one like bloodthirst rotation, but you'll see how bloodthirst is still on cooldown when I have a free global. That's when you would probably weave the slam, like right here. Bink, little slam, then you bloodthirst again, then it's rampage, bloodthirst. This right here, when I don't have anything else, we have a sudden death proc, so you would let that rip, and then you bloodthirst again, and then you kind of see what you got. If for some reason you bloodthirst, slam, execute while on cooldown, you can whirlwind, or you can prioritize a whirlwind because it actually feeds you a little bit of rage too, but so does slam, also gives you rage, so it's not just bloodthirst like it used to be, but it's like bloodthirst slam, bloodthirst execute, bloodthirst whirlwind, so bloodthirst is like every other global, basically, which is fine. it'll be fine. It still feels really good to just smash. And then the fact that you're reducing your cooldown on Odin's Fury is going to be super fun. I still think it's worth your while to play Reckless Abandon, but Anger Management does seem kind of interesting, right? Because then you're like, you're reducing the cooldown of Odin's Fury through creating Bloodthirst, but you're also reducing the cooldown of your Wreck activated Odin's Fury by spending Rage. So I don't know, man. It's you know, you got some options. I haven't tested that out yet, but Maybe I should. See how it feels. My suspicion is not be quite as good, but I don't know. Maybe it's actually insane. Maybe you do play anger management. I've talked about this whole time about how you empower your bloodthirst, which still feels pretty good, but there's the like absolutely the possibility, because it doesn't seem to be reducing the cooldown of it. Unless I'm missing something, you may absolutely want to play anger management. Absolutely. Oh, never mind. I'm actually trolling. Because it's not actually reducing the cooldown of Avatar. Never mind. Let's go back to this. Because Wreck is cool, but... I mean, I don't know. It could, you know, you could still have the reduced cooldown of Wreck contributing to more crit Bloodthirst, which still sort of contributes to Odin's Fury cooldown reduction, but I think that having Wreck line up with your Avatar is still kind of juicy. I think it all just works out pretty well. Anyway, now you guys know what your options are, huh? You could go the route of that, but I think Bloodthirst or Bloodbath is hitting really freaking hard. So I don't think it's just the buff. Let me read the tooltip. It's a macro for that, yeah. No, I mean, it's dealing a pretty significant chunk of damage compared to, let me click that buff off. Compared to Bloodthirst, yeah, it's making it do like double the damage. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're still playing Reckless Abandon. All good though. Those will be the kind of things that we continue to theory craft. But that's the idea, team, is you charge in, and I mean, everything's dying so fast. I can't even show up the full rotation, but that's a good sign, I guess, right? Charge in, pop Wreck, pop Avatar, let it rip with a big old Odin's Fury, and then just go to work with Rampage, Bloodthirst, and then go through your kind of priority system there, right? You're always wanting to press Rampage when it's available. Always want to press Bloodthirst when it's available. When you don't have Bloodthirst or Rampage to press, you're going to either Whirlwind or Slam in between. And then you're kind of just weaving everything else with the same priority system of whenever you can Rampage, whenever you can Bloodthirst, whenever you can't, probably execute over over the other two. But if you can cleave, press a Whirlwind. If you can't, press a Slam. Just continue popping off like this. See, Ayaga has a little bit more health here, so you can kind of go through the ideal rotation here without popping cooldowns, right? But yeah, it's a pretty smooth rotation. Fury's still gonna feel fine, even though you're not just spamming Bloodthirst over and over, which is pretty fun at the beginning of the expansion, but not how it works anymore. Anyway, hope this helps you guys get started with Fury. And if you guys haven't checked out the arms guide yet, be sure to do that as well. I feel like the arms guide, I kind of laid out a little bit of some basic warrior stuff, and then with Fury, it's kind of like, it's Fury, guys. Just go nuts. I'll try to play a little bit of Fury as well as arms to keep you guys in the loop. But yeah, I think Season 3 is going to be a good season for warriors. We got a lot of cool utility stuff added to us, to our toolkit, and our set bonuses are both fairly interesting and both look like a lot of fun. So should be cool. And of course, this is just you know, phase 1. If other things get updated, we'll keep you posted. Definitely happy to have you guys tuning in, showing love to the videos. Really appreciate that as always. Speaking of which, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Give it a nice little comment so that YouTube shows you my videos in the future. And stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.